Greetings, life forms, wherever you're receiving us. This is Justin.
And man.
And I am the whitest White Walker, Landon Doe.
I've heard that about you.
Seriously, when I take my shirt off, it's like just like a star is born,
Day
and
glow.
not like a sexy star. It's like the giant ball of light in the sky.
Yeah. We should have a contest. This should be one of the newest contests we do, like at spring break every year. The whitest White Walker. I'll compete. I think I could be in the running. Give you a run for your money on that one.
I cannot.
Honestly, I think you and I would probably just be an also ran. We probably wouldn't place because we're kind of hairy. So our massive Wookiee-esque amounts of hair kind of gives our white bodies a little bit of color.
That's true.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why you guys are so white is because you have to put the filament into the hair.
All the colors.
all your pigment is leaving your skin.
It's like I cannot do it anymore. I don't have the pigments.
That's right. It don't have the pigmentation, Captain.
Enjoy that visual, my friends.
That's
Enjoy
right.
it. Yeah.
Breathe it in.
Yet again, I can't win on that front either.
Well, it is Sunday, July the 16th, and this is episode number 54?
Yeah.
He says with conviction.
I'm so confident that this is episode 54. I'm going to say it with a question mark every time.
54?
Yeah.
You know he'll read whatever you put in the teleprompter.
And I'm correct. I just double-checked myself. Good.
There you go.
As we continue to climb, that's going to get harder and harder. And I know
we need one of those time date calendars on the desk here
just
and just flip it over.
Or like a little ticker.
Yeah.
I could just tick a little tick mark every time because I'm too old to try to remember this.
Yeah.
Good. 54.
So would that make you Murtaugh?
Yeah, I'm just days from retirement.
And days of retirement.
And this show's going to go off the rails just like every movie of Lethal Weapon that we've ever seen.
Can I be Joe Pesci?
You can be Pesci, yeah.
Oh man, that means I gotta be Mel Gibson. I suddenly have very questionable viewpoints.
That means you have to do all our action and be tortured.
You could go Chris Rock, right? He was in one.
Oh
of them.
yeah, you could be Chris Rock. Like you could be
Rock was in. Okay, I'm cool with Rock.
There you go.
Or Danny Glover's daughter. It's your choice.
I already called dibs on Rock, but I had the Riggs kid over here, so I already had the nipple clamps out. So I don't know what's up.
The Riggs kid.
The Riggs kid.
That just made me think, does Amazon sell a Riggs kit? I'm going to look at that. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Hey, before we get too far, I forgot. I didn't want to take a drink of my coffee because I have an experiment coffee today, and then I accidentally took a small sip, but I was like in mid-sip, I was like, I'm not supposed to do this yet. So let's talk about drinks really quick. Matt's got a little seltzer water with him, but it might have a little flavor to it. What have you got there?
It's cran raspberry LaCroix that my wife is trying to force me into because she doesn't want to go to Publix and get the ones I like.
I like LaCroix. That's something, we get it from Costco. We get the huge packs of it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just don't like any of their flavors. Their lime tastes like you're putting a lime in your mouth.
Yeah.
And then the lemon tastes like putting a lemon in your mouth. And I can only imagine what this cran raspberry tastes like.
Probably like putting cran raspberry in your mouth.
Yeah.
No, it is like the cheapest of candy, raspberry, and I just drank it.
Well, here's the thing. I will say this, unless you drink LaCroix like frequently enough to kind of get used to it, it is a very dull, like it tastes like you're...
It's not as seltzery as the one I drink.
I mean, it's got the carbonation to it, but flavor-wise, it is very subtle. And
this isn't subtle.
That's not subtle?
No, it tastes like a melted sucker in this thing. It's not subtle, and... I'm not... You know, your explanation right there made me think that's the same thing they tell people with poison.
Oh, the poison's very subtle.
Yeah, it's very subtle. If you just keep drinking it, you get used to it. That's how he got immune to iocane powder. I don't know if you know.
All right, Landon, I assume you're not drinking LaCroix. What have you got?
No, I'm not drinking LaCroix, but I don't know if it's any more exciting. I am drinking... I have a red Solo cup of water, and then I have a Dr. Pepper in the refrigerator. And if feel like getting crazy, I might have a beer later.
Okay.
Ooh.
Little teaser. Come back Thursday and see what Landon's made it to.
Exactly.
He'll be drinking some Johnny Walker by that point.
I almost did some day drinking today. I was like, who stops me from putting some vodka and some cranberry coming up?
Nobody stops.
No one stops me.
And in fact, with what you're drinking, that might improve it.
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, how would I know the difference? This is not cranberry.
I kind of I kind of wonder if some of the LaCroix is designed to be mixer.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I would.
It has to be.
If I had a water company that was flavored, I would definitely get into that business.
Yeah, they don't tell you that, but that's what they intend for you.
Exactly. It's like, we're not telling you.
It makes me wonder how many times I've been lied to at the bar.
Well, many a time. Many a
time.
But
I've been
then
lied to at the bar a whole bunch.
Yeah,
Generally,
true.
It's from women.
that's what I was kind of alluding to. All right, now I have a coffee, and it was something that my dad was excited to give me last night. So I'm assuming it's not very good.
He could not wait to offload it on his son.
So Sam just asked him a question about it, and he's like, "Here, take all of it."
Because that's what his wife has tried to push him into.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it is a K-Cup. It's called Vita Cup, and it's coffee with vitamins.
With vitamins.
This is the French roast.
Okay.
I brewed it. It did not smell very good. Mm-hmm. So I took a tiny sip, but not enough to really get the flavor. So I'm going full
swig.
Full
I want
swig
to
right
see. I want to see the enjoyment on your face.
It's not that bad. It's a little weird, but it's not. Honestly,
I was expecting way worse.
it wasn't cringeworthy. I mean, it tastes like a French roast.
It wasn't synergy.
It's really not bad. I'll give you. I'm sitting here waiting for like aftertaste or no. I'm good. I'm all right. I'm gonna make it.
He's going to make it. He's a
gonna
little bit more peppy. Do you notice how
I'm gonna make it through this.
His talking is a little sped up?
All that caffeine and vitamins going right to the bloodstream.
He's like a cat at the window at the birds.
I'm gonna be like that squirrel in Over the Hedge, like take a couple more hits of this coffee, and I'll go into bullet time.
Almost as good as laser time.
Yeah, almost.
Landon's Dr. Pepper made me think of something that happened at work. There was a dilemma on what to do with the Coke machine because there is a coalition for the caffeine-free Diet Coke that is against putting in the coalition of Diet Dr. Pepper that wants to go in, but one must move. The Dr. Pepper coalition has really put pressure on this Diet caffeine-free Coke because it's only 2 people. And they're like, how much do you really drink of that? I mean, it was a real battle. It was fun to read over
office politics,
passive-aggressive emails.
Oh, yeah.
Though let me say, as somebody who has and continues to sometimes drink caffeine-free Diet Coke, that side is going to win because you do not come between people and their Diet Coke.
Well, we have Diet Coke on there, but we also have caffeine-free Diet Coke.
You do not come in between people and their Diet Coke, period.
True.
Whether it be caffeine, caffeine-free, people don't f*** around with their Diet Coke. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I believe you.
People are
Everything
serious.
you say is truth.
People are serious about their CFDC.
Now, see, this is where sword-carrying individuals would come into play. There can be only one.
They can draw their swords and duel it out.
I'm not going to miss Brenda at work if she doesn't make it from this battle.
And we all know Brenda at work has terrible sword skills.
Oh, absolutely.
And honestly, would the world be worse off if we were one less Diet Dr. Pepper drinker? Come on.
Well, there's more of those people.
Actually, I would rather see duels between Diet Mountain Dew drinkers because those people, I'm like,
gosh.
really?
Diet Mountain Dew.
Okay, you're making a bad choice by picking Mountain Dew, and you think
oxymoron?
you're gonna improve that by going diet, and that thing doesn't even taste good.
No, it's not even remotely good.
I'm talking to you, the listener, right now. If you are a Diet Mountain Dew drinker, you can unsubscribe.
Oh, no. That's
No,
all of
don't
them.
Subscribe. Just keep downloading, but don't listen.
Don't listen anymore.
I'm just
Hey,
kidding.
We've
we
said
did
worse
the
things.
number.
I'm
We've
just
said worse
kidding.
things.
They can do what they want, but that's a poor choice.
No, I don't drink sodas anymore. I mean, the only thing that I drink is drank.
Drank? You
that
drank
would
drank.
Be, that would be
That's what
the
you drank.
accent in me. No, when I go to the movies, I have to have that horrible cherry Coke.
Oh, yeah, you got to
and
go
a popcorn.
cherry Coke at the
I
movies.
have to have it.
All right, this is the drink podcast now.
That's right. Sorry, guys. You have fallen into it.
And it's just delaying. You were talking about me being so peppy. It's because this was an exciting weekend for me. It was D23 Expo. We only get this once every other year, and this was a good one because, man, I'm going to tell you. So I'm going to focus on some of the parks news that we got, and I'm gonna go last today. I usually focus on my stuff first, but I feel like if I do that, I'm going to take the whole show. So I'm going to see with what time I have left. We're going to hit my park stuff really quick, but there's some big ones. But there was so much good news, not just parks, video games, movies. We're going to get into all that stuff.
Just a preemptive. Was the Thanos thing a part of that too?
It was.
Okay.
So they've premiered, or what would you
Children
say,
of Thanos?
unveiled
Yeah.
some things about Infinity Wars, but there's going to be more at Comic-Con.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that's to be expected.
Yeah. So they had that panel with some of the Infinity Wars people, and they had that.
saw
Did you see the Infinity
the
Gauntlet?
That's what I wanted to talk about. That thing looks badass. I don't know. I mean,
It
looks awesome.
I want to get one of those.
Yeah.
No,
Where can I get
if
one?
I'm gonna nitpick and be a nerd here, when Josh Brolin held up the Infinity Gauntlet, it was the Infinity Gauntlet model was made for his right arm. He held it up with his left arm.
Did.
So clearly, I mean, the continuity is off.
Now,
I really hope somebody got fired for that.
well, let me say something here. Do you think it was a picture inversion from the media?
Well, man, I'm glad you asked that. I put the image through my confabulator, and I don't think it was.
Confabulator.
Wow, nice.
I guess, I don't know. But
I ran 3 filters on Photoshop.
But like in all seriousness, that Infinity Gauntlet model had to be 3-4 feet tall.
It was huge.
It was massive,
Gigantic.
If Donald Trump was going to wear an Infinity Gauntlet,
You know what? If anybody is going to wear that Infinity Gauntlet in real life events, I think
with these small baby hands, they would just be swallowed up.
I think
they would
those
never be seen again.
17-minute handshakes he does would be spectacular with that thing.
that would be awesome.
He's
He
just like
actually
hanging
still has,
on.
like-
And if he could like say, "Look, I'm going to shake your hand, and what I want you to do is like fall down like I'm absorbing your energy, and
It'll really make me look great.
it'll make me
okay?
look huge."
This will really get me reelected. Okay. He's going to bring the Infinity Gauntlet to the debates.
Oh God.
What? What is it? Sam's freaking out about something. What is it?
Next doctor is a woman.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Come
Wait,
here.
really?
Come here. Okay. We have breaking news because today we just found out that the new Doctor was going to be unveiled today. Some people said that it might have been announced at Wimbledon, but I don't think that happened. So Sam comes running in here with a very shocked look on her face, and tell us what you just found out.
The next doctor is a woman.
It is. So they finally did it.
Yeah.
Who is it?
They
Her
did it.
name is Jodie Whittaker.
Jodie Whittaker. Okay.
Whittaker. She was on Broadchurch
Oh, okay.
with David Tennant.
There's your connection.
Yeah. She's been in a few things, but I bet this is like her first big, like,
I'm watching the video now.
real thing. I'm freaking out right now.
Jodie
Got
Whittaker.
it.
So I've got her. Okay. Yep. I remember her from Broadchurch.
Yeah.
I need to see her face, or I won't know who she is.
Yeah. So Jodie Whittaker has
Oh.
been
I didn't know how to
introduced
say her
as
last
the
name.
next.
And she's a little younger.
Doctor.
I thought they would get. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have no criticism over this, but I thought they would be somebody a little older.
Well, Peter Capaldi's an old dude.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And some of the other ones have been kind of older.
Oh, yeah. Well, the first one was super old.
Yeah, he was a grandpa.
Ancient.
But have any of the other recent doctors skewed as old as the most recent one?
No, he was the oldest, and they even made comments about it in the show.
Okay.
That he was exceptionally old.
Yeah.
And like his companion, I think it was Clara at the time, said something
She's really
about
young.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they're all pretty young.
Yeah, a lot of the companions are young, but she said something about him being old, and he said, "Well, you've accepted me for who I am, so now I can be more like what I am on the outside." Which is because he's an old. The doctor's like 700 years old.
She's so
Yeah.
pretty.
Oh, we're talking about Jodie Whittaker still.
Yes.
So I was going to give some of her backstory. Yes, she was in Broadchurch as Beth Latimer, 24 episodes, and that show was recreated in the U.S. It was because that's the whole murder mystery show where David Tennant is the detective. All of her stuff is all British stuff.
Yeah.
It's not stuff that probably
that's
a
what
lot
they
of
push
our
for
fans. She was in
anyway.
Black Mirror. She was in an episode of Black Mirror.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, this is fantastic. All right. From Twitter, I took Daily Mail comments about people angry from a possible female Doctor Who and turned them into episode titles for the new series. First up, nobody wants a TARDIS full of bras. The next one is the BBC are trying to brainwash your children. Let's see. Time travel is for men and men only.
Oh, come on.
Amy Pond disagrees.
Here's a good one. Political correctness should not exist in space. All right, yeah, sorry. Please continue.
Is this from the Wonder Woman Coalition?
It's probably all the same people.
Yeah. I see.
And it's also the same ding-dongs that got pissed that Rey was the star of the new Star Wars movie.
I had forgotten all about that.
Well, welcome Jodie Whittaker. That's really exciting.
I know.
That is
She looks
I'm
cool.
Excited.
They did a good. They get the little video. There was a good intro. I thought that was cool. It had the hood, and you didn't really get to see anything.
Yeah.
And they had her. If you notice, her hand, like her nails, are really short and everything, so you don't get the reveal until they show her face.
So she was actually in a show with Peter Capaldi.
Oh, was she really?
So
Jeez,
Her-
Doctor
her-
Who's like nepotism.
It
It's
is. They all know each other.
If
Well,
you know
it's-
somebody, you're gonna get a job.
I'll be honest. That's how British television and movies is. They're all connected.
Yeah.
Simon Pegg's been in everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely he has. Well,
look,
now he's
I've
in
seen
everything American.
Simon Pegg has done. I need to see if I got a job or something.
Seriously, Simon Pegg was in an episode of Doctor Who. Her Wikipedia page has already been updated.
Of course it has. The
I had to
internet's on
take care
top
of that.
Like this, literally. When did they make the announcement? 10 minutes ago.
yeah, it just happened.
And her Wikipedia page is updated.
Bang.
It's her last thing on her bio. Doctor Who as the first woman to hold the show's lead role.
I wonder if somebody did that preemptively just to see if somebody would catch it too. Not that you would be looking for Jodie Whittaker
Hey.
to get something updated.
She just had a birthday, June 3rd, 1982. She was born in my year.
Wait,
She's our age.
I'm older than her.
You're older than the
Wow.
Doctor. Congratulations.
She does not look that. She does not look that young.
How's that
No.
make you feel?
Old.
I'm older than her.
And she's from she's done Shakespeare, just
Oh,
like
okay.
every actor or actress in Britain.
Hey, I can't say anything about it. British actors and actresses do a great job, and I think that theater training really pays off.
Sure. Oh, it says her casting was announced on BBC One after the live broadcast of the gentlemen's singles finals of Wimbledon. So it wasn't part of it; it just came
Okay.
after. So there you
Well,
go.
they used Wimbledon as the lead-in for the Doctor Who
Hey,
announcement.
we do stuff
That's
like that
awesome.
with the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, Super Bowl. Yeah.
So
Now, generally, the Super Bowl is the lead-in to some show on
Well,
Fox
yeah.
that's going to be canceled in 3 weeks.
that's true.
Oh my God, they are the death of all TV.
So just looking at Sam's reaction, you're pretty fired up about
I'm
this.
so excited. I can't wait.
It feels like she's almost on the verge of tears.
I mean, I wonder what's going to happen with the relationships.
With the companions and stuff, the
yeah.
old companions.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
That'll be interesting.
Freaking
And will
out.
she run into the old doctors at some point? That'll be interesting too.
Ah.
When Matt Smith first was incarnated as the Doctor, he looked at his long hair like he pulled it in front of his face and he was like, "I'm a girl!" Like he freaked out at first. So
He did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
that'll be interesting.
It was about time.
It was.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a guy for 60 years
Yeah.
now. So I think it was time.
Yep. So there you go.
Okay.
Well, thanks for bringing us the breaking news.
Yeah, thank you.
You're
That
welcome. Bye, guys.
was- Bye.
All
Wow,
right.
breaking news here on the Nerd News.
That's pretty cool. We don't usually get that.
Which it'll be kind of old by the time
It will. By the time this
releases.
comes out, it won't be breaking news anymore. But
Just
It's
to let you know,
breaking
we
for
were
us.
on the cusp when we recorded.
But it will be on our Twitter account at nerd_news
right.
_cafe. Go back and look. I'll tell you, we'll have something posted about it on Sunday, this past Sunday, and that means we're up to speed with the
That's
breaking
right.
news. Cool. So that was exciting. I don't know how we can top that one, but let's
Yeah,
try. Let's
seriously.
give it a shot.
Oh, I'm sure you know.
Let's give it a shot. Matt, I want to start with yours because you had a couple things you put out. I know you posted something about the Netflix Punisher series.
Yeah, they're pushing forward on it. I didn't see a release date, but I didn't get a chance to really dive into it. But it's coming soon. I'm super excited about that. I think the guy, of course, the guy who plays the Punisher was on Walking Dead as Shane. Great actor, I think. He's done a really
John
good job.
Barenthal, I think.
Is that his name? I'm horrible with
I
names.
think so.
But I enjoyed him in this second season of Daredevil. I thought that he kind of added a lot that the story required.
A lot of intensity.
Yeah, a lot of intensity. And, I mean, the Daredevil story is good. I like the second season of Daredevil, but I feel like there was a lot of distraction with what they were trying to do with it. They were trying to build other characters, which is cool,
Yeah.
so...
Elektra.
Yeah, Elektra, which was cool. And then the whole... who did he fight? The... what is there? The Hand.
The Hand, yeah. I was going to say the fist.
No,
and I knew
the
that wasn't
fist.
right.
No. Not the foot either. No, the hand. They built on that, and who's in control of that. So it'll lead. I think we'll get to see more of what they were building with Defenders, because we saw Sigourney Weaver, and it looks like she's in charge of it, whatever her character name is. And then, so this whole Punisher thing looks great. And I
Yeah.
mean, it's actually a real tragic story. I mean, he's really downtrodden about everything that's went on.
Well, he would have to.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, but some of the
to
other
be in the
Punishers,
state that he's in as a Punisher.
I like the one from The one movie, not Dolph Lundgren. It was okay. It wasn't. It was kind of gritty, and it was 80s, and you got what you got on that one. And I liked it at that time, but I liked the Thomas Jane one.
Yeah.
He was a good Punisher.
He was a good Punisher, but I felt like I don't know, maybe there was not enough mourning for me. It wasn't as tragic because it was trying to be a Michael Bay boom movie.
Yeah.
I don't think it was his movie, but it was definitely in competition with those movies. So this series, and Netflix is doing a absolutely stellar job with, their comic book shows and stuff like that. So I think it'll be great. It'll be interesting to see where they take his character, who they incorporate, because they always incorporate other characters. So maybe we'll get Jigsaw.
And see, that's a good question to ask, because all of these Netflix Marvel shows, they build on each other and they set the next building stone. I'm kind of curious if we don't see the introduction of somebody like Moon Knight, because Moon Knight has been long rumored to be part of Netflix Wave 2.
I would like to see him take it on.
Perfect way to introduce Moon Knight.
Yeah, I would love to see him, develop that and take it on. Moon Knight's different, and I think they're going to have to really going to have to do better than they did with the Iron Fist.
Oh, I 1,000% agree with you. And it's like,
it was rough.
Thing is, it's like, if done right, Moon Knight could be a massive hit for Marvel, because Moon Knight's practically Marvel's version of Batman, just with schizophrenia.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. It would be cool. Hopefully they can do that. I mean, they can put in a bunch of people in there. I mean, the Punisher, there is no one he hasn't taken on, I don't think, at this point. So
he takes on all comers.
All comers, bring 'em, bro. But I'm excited about that one. So that'll be cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too. I think that, to me, that's like one of your perfect series, like a Punisher Netflix series. I think you're going to get everything you want from that. It's kind of like he's
one of my faves. So.
Assassin's Creed series that we're going to get.
But he's just so blatant. Like, I mean, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, you're a terrible person as far as watching these series. But the first episode of Daredevil season 2 is the aftermath of what he did to like a whole, gang. And he just lit them up, got them all invited to the same party and then lit them up. I'm like, that's Punisher, man. That's what he does. That's how he do.
That's just Punisher being Punisher.
Punisher doing Punisher things.
Hashtag like, punished.
that was the best part of Daredevil season 2. It's like I spoke with friends at work. It's like, yeah, all those episodes, the first 5-6 episodes of the season, they're strictly focused on the Punisher. And then once that gets wrapped up, it really felt like season 2 just hit the air brakes. And it's like, okay, now I got to go deal with Elektra and the Hand, where it's like, I'm more curious. Can we go back to the Punisher who's still chained up in the hospital? Like I want to see more of him.
And the Elektra was good. I think they did a good job. It's just, I don't know what it is. I actually had revisited the old Daredevil, the old Ben Affleck Daredevil. They had a hard time doing Elektra in that one, and I don't know what it is about Elektra that they can't do. But I think it was just a lot of exposition, and it was like, hey, we're really building. So maybe we'll see the payoff in Defenders, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
So, because of course, like I said, it looks like the Hand's in there. I'm guessing they're going to bring Elektra, blow the dust off of her, and because she got entombed.
Yeah, you would imagine, because like in the comics, at different points in her character's story, Elektra has run the Hand. So you would imagine this is where they're going, and we're going to see full-blown bad guy Elektra.
Yeah, and that's fine. And I mean, Iron Fist alluded to it. I mean, that whole series was about the Hand and him dealing with them, and I don't know. That was a rough series.
Can I give a nerd hot take here real quick?
Yep. Uh-oh. Let's have it.
I don't know if the Hand is the best villain for television. I know it's really important to these characters' backgrounds and comics and stuff, but it's like, the more you go full-blown Hand, the more it gets dumb and convoluted. And we kind of started to see that in the last few Netflix shows that focus on this. Because, I mean, like I just said, it's like, as soon as Daredevil Season 2 took its focus off of the Punisher and put it on the Hand, it kind of got a little wonky. And, I mean, you just made reference to it in, Iron Fist. And this is going to be the big bad in the Defenders, too.
Well, and I agree with you. And thinking about it, I think it's because we don't have a face for villainy. It's like they're just this group. we see certain leaders, but they don't stay leaders, and it's like, oh, it's the hand, it's this organization. When I'm playing on my tabletop game night, you can't make opposition that is too good. You can't make somebody OP or it's boring. Mm-hmm. So the hand is too OP in my thought process of what you're saying. So I agree with you. It's like, why would you even want to watch that? They're never going to beat them.
Well, plus on top of that, I mean, like you said, it's all faceless stuff, and yeah, this worked for like the Ninja Turtles and the Foot Clan, but that was because you had Shredder.
Exactly, you had somebody to hate and Krang, and they were robots, so you didn't even care about them. I think that may be what ruined Iron Fist, but I really think they just did a horrible job of doing it.
And it's like, I still gotta finish frickin' Iron Fist before Defenders comes out.
It's a good payoff to the end.
But at the same time, it's like, it almost feels like freaking homework that I
have
to watch.
It is. It's rough. It's rough. Like, it was truly binge hell. Because I was like, I gotta get to the end of this, because if I don't, they're all interconnected, and I'll understand, but I won't understand.
I am willing to have a blind spot because I am not. I've got too much to watch, and I'm not wasting my time with Iron Fist. I got enough of it from you. You told me. Yeah. I got the general idea. I feel like I don't need to see it.
And maybe you should watch a 60-second video on YouTube and be done with it, so you get your highlights, because they're out there. I don't know. Yeah, move on. I hope Defenders isn't horrible because of that. I doubt it is, because to tell you the truth, Iron Fist, it's sad, but he is a secondary character. At least they've made him into one now. Because he just doesn't feel like somebody I care about primarily.
Maybe that'll change with Defenders.
Hopefully.
I was just going to say maybe that'll change with Defenders, but we'll see.
It could be, but I mean, it's like, I'm going to kind of echo what Matt said. It's like, in the comics, recently, both Luke Cage and Danny Rand, the Iron Fist, they've been elevated because... Yeah. Before recently, they were just kind of B characters. They were in the background. They were doing the Heroes for Hire thing, but they've been elevated to like top guys in the Marvel universe. And it kind of feels like Luke Cage is still getting that treatment in the Netflix show, not so much Danny Rand in his Netflix show. So
in the comics,
that's interesting.
I think
Luke
that's
Cage
the actor.
is all over the place in the comics right now.
Yeah, I know. Well, and I mean,
Luke Cage is huge.
Do you think the actor made that happen? Like the acting and the way they built the series
and
the
reaction
everything?
to him and stuff? Because people had a huge reaction to Luke Cage when he made his appearance in Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
That was the best part of Jessica Jones, in my opinion.
I like Jessica Jones. I thought it was a good series. I enjoyed the weirdness of it, really.
It was very weird, I'll give you that.
Yeah, speaking of Doctor Who and David Tennant.
Yeah, there you go. There's the connection. She'll be the next one.
She might be. I'm surprised it wasn't.
She'll be the companion.
Yeah.
The night nurse is also the 14th Doctor.
There you go.
I will say... Rosario Dawson, is that her name?
Yeah.
She does an excellent job out of all of them.
Good,
she is really great in all of them.
Yep.
So
I wanted to transition really quick because this was an interesting thing. You also liked another tweet, and this one was a quote from Key Keegan Michael Key, and he said that The Predator is not a sequel.
He said, it's not a sequel to the last Predator that came out, and it's neither is it a sequel to Predator 2.
Yeah.
But his clue or whatever he threw in there is that it will fit into the Predator universe.
Yeah. So is it just like a side story?
That's what I'm guessing. I mean, but if you think about it, Predator 2 was a side story.
Yeah.
We didn't build off of one at all. We just had two. Mm-hmm. And then we've had all kinds of iterations with Alien and everything. But I think what I've read is that they are not acknowledging AVP. So I'm guessing we're going to drop the aliens out of Predator for a while and see how that works, which is fine. But with this actor being in there, I wonder how much comedic... I mean, he can do serious roles, but he is a very high-energy comedic guy. So I don't know what his role is, but he seems like, a very prominent part of it. Mm-hmm. I like Predator movies. They're probably... They're tops for me, too.
I wanted to just hit on the Key My Key thing for a second, because if you saw the movie Don't Think Twice... So that's a movie about improv comedy, and Keegan is in it, and he's funny. He's one of the main people, but he's also pretty serious. He has like an interesting role in that movie. So I think he can pull it off. Yeah,
I think he's a great actor, and I mean, you didn't really get that from him and Key and Peele, but there are parts where they tried to make like these serious parodies of things, and they did a great job. One of them is the and it's so stupid, but it's the Miami Vice one they did. It was very over the top, serious drama like CSI type of crap that Miami Vice did a long time ago, and they did a real serious roll up. Now, granted, I think somebody explodes, but it's a stupid skit. But you can see where they can do that, and I mean, Peele wrote Get Out, so
yeah.
I mean, he's writing Get Out too, so. They know how to do it. I mean, he's a good actor. I wonder what they're doing with him. Is he going to be serious or is he going to be comedic relief? What's going on with this guy?
Yeah.
But I'm happy to get a Predator. I don't know. It's got to be better than Aliens, I would imagine, because I haven't seen it, but based off that reaction from Landon, it makes me very, very, like I have to have nothing to do for 2 hours of my life at certain points. And let me tell you something, my life doesn't work that way.
Oh, yeah. Good luck finding all that time.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, 2 hours of doing nothing? Sure. No.
I was trying to figure out, okay, I found the release date. So this is set to come out August 3rd, 2018. Mm-hmm. The director is Shane Black, who also directed Iron Man 3.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah, that also Shane Black, Lethal Weapon.
Oh yeah, hey,
Kiss,
there
Kiss,
you go.
Bang, bang.
Oh man, I am getting too
full
old for this.
circle.
Nice, so very cool. And there are a lot of articles out there right now. It's not only is it not a sequel, it's also not a reboot.
No, it's not a reboot, which I'm happy with. I'm so happy when I hear it's not a reboot. Do whatever story you want to. Just stop rebooting things.
Olivia Munn's in this movie, too. That's weird.
As Cyclops? No, just kidding.
Yeah, Psylocke's making
would be
an appearance
awesome.
in the Predator universe.
Yep.
Hey, if they connected them, I wouldn't be against it. It would help the Predator.
Honestly,
Predator?
it wouldn't hurt the X-Men movies either.
Oh, true.
Oh, what? They finally get
No, you're justified.
And we're gonna. Sorry.
You're justified. I will say this, and this is kind of real offshoot. That Dark Phoenix movie they're writing, the guys who wrote the Dark Phoenix Saga comics are involved in the screenwriting.
Oh, good.
So
Cool.
Okay.
Good to
even
hear
though
that.
we've got a new director and we're building from Apocalypse, so hopefully it'll be something worth seeing.
I mean, I was going to say you have to give it to them for trying to tackle such a big, iconic, and convoluted
in one
storyline.
movie. In one movie, yeah.
Like with Phoenix, but at the same time, you also mentioned Apocalypse, and we saw how well that turned out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, Apocalypse should have been 2 movies too, but I don't think Fox is all about that. They're like, let's go with one, because they shot themselves in the foot many a time saying we're releasing 3 of these, and the first one goes straight down the toilet. I'm looking at you, Fantastic Four, and
or if you want to stay in the X-Men universe, I'm looking at you, X-Men Origins Wolverine, because if you remember when Wolverine came out, there was going to be an X-Men Origins Magneto movie.
Oh, I know.
out.
Which would have been cool, I think. But the thing is, they already did that. It's called First Class.
Yeah, then they went and made First Class.
First
Like, yeah, we're good.
class.
I didn't know there was music to it.
Yeah, man. That's the theme song. You must not have seen the same movie I saw.
Yeah, clearly.
All right.
I didn't see the musical.
So let's start dipping our toes in the big event we had this week, which was D23. Landon, I want you to kick us off because there was a lot of movie news, and I know you're pretty excited about one thing in particular, and I'm thinking Incredibles 2.
Yes, incredibly, we finally have a for sure release date of Incredibles 2, and
I'm excited. I like
crap,
the first
I just
one.
lost it.
It's-
Yeah, like the first Incredibles movie, still to this day, is my favorite Pixar movie, and I think this is when Disney realized, wow, these superheroes, they're pretty profitable, because the first Incredibles movie came out before the Marvel Cinematic Universe started on their big boom. So I really feel like if you're excited about all the comic movies we're getting now, you need to be thankful that Disney put out The Incredibles, and Incredibles 2 drops in theaters June 15th, 2018. And the exciting part is they've already announced that Incredibles 2 is going to pick up immediately after Incredibles 1 ended. So you know how at the end they're coming out of Dash's track meet,
yeah.
like, yeah,
The Underminer.
yeah, settle for a second, and then in the background, boom, this big giant doofus with moles and a drill, call himself the Underminer, pops up. He's like, and nobody's below the Underminer. And then it cuts to the pars, and they got their Incredible gear on. Roll credits. Well, guess what? That is where Incredibles 2 picks up.
Perfect.
So So there will be no lapse in time. So I'm assuming when it's all said and done, we'll be able to marathon Incredibles 1 into Incredibles 2, which I think is cool. And the fact that it is finally coming out and it is less than a year away, I'm super excited.
And they got the same cast from what I could tell. I mean, they got everybody back.
Everybody's back. Every one of the Pars. They even got Sam Jackson as Frozone to be back. I don't know if Jason Lee is going to return as Syndrome, just because we don't know Syndrome's fate right now. But,
as long as we have Edna Modes.
Oh, yes. Edna is back. Edna has been confirmed. So I'm excited about that. And it's like for the longest time, it's like, oh, sweet. We got another Cars movie. Or even more recently, and we'll talk about this here in a second. Oh, great. Another Toy Story movie.
I meant to tell you, you can watch Cars 3. Mater is in it like 5 minutes.
Ugh, that's 5 minutes too much.
Maybe you can go pee then.
That would be a very, very long pee.
So Landon, I wanted to hit on something that you mentioned just a second ago, marathoning 1 and 2 back to back. So Incredibles 1, The Incredibles, came out in 2004. It will have been 14 years between the two. And the only thing that I would say about that is, do you think the animation is going to look the same?
I mean,
it should be better.
I think it's still going to retain that Pixar look and that kind of 50s-esque look that the original Incredibles had. But at the same time, I mean, like you said, it's 14 years in the future where technology has gotten vastly more improved since back when the first one came out. I think it's going to retain that artistic style that it had, kind of, the big black outlines to really make everything pop. But I think it'll look better.
I think, here's what I'm saying. Like, you go back, you remember when the first Shrek came out? Mm-hmm. And we were like, oh my gosh, look at Donkey's fur. It's like so realistic and things like that. But you watch it now and you can definitely tell a difference between Shrek and then like a movie that came out, like Zootopia.
Yeah.
Where you've got a lot of fur going on. There's definitely a difference in what we're able to render. Mm-hmm. And so I just wonder how shocking it'll be. But I guess you could say the same thing about Toy Story. You watched the first one.
I was just about to say,
they held up
Toy
on those,
Story 1 into 2 into 3. It's like, and that's the thing about Pixar. The graphics will get better, but for the most part, I don't think any Pixar movie, even the very first one, if you go back and watch the first Toy Story, I don't think the graphics have aged so poorly that you're going to be like, oh, I can't watch this. Where it's like, you use Shrek as an example. Some of those old school, like I don't want to say old school because DreamWorks is still relatively new in the animation world, but some of those early DreamWorks movies, they're just butt ugly to watch.
They are. And Blu-ray makes everything crap. When you go back that far, because they just weren't ready for it.
Look at all the pixels you can't see.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, like I will say, the Blu-ray Shrek, and maybe they've fixed it since then. Man, there are some problems where it's just where that high definition meets old rendering, and it just did not mix well. And I'm hoping I think they did fix some of that stuff, but.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely. That's a good question.
Yeah, I just think it'll be interesting. But speaking of Toy Story, we know Toy Story 4 is coming 2019.
Which I don't know that I really wanted that. I was good with the way it ended.
And see, I kind of agree with Matt here, but still piggybacking off the Incredible 2. Incredible 2 and Toy Story 4 actually swapped release dates. So the original plan was Toy Story 4 was supposed to drop in June of next year, but for whatever reason, Disney Pixar decided to give us Incredibles 2 in that spot. So thumbs up in that aspect.
We're missing, in Toy Story, aren't we missing 2 actors that did voices?
Yeah. Yes. Because one of them was Slinky Dog, which was,
of course,
Ernest.
Jim Varney's
Jim Varney
way too long.
Love Jim
unfortunately.
Varney. And then Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah.
Passed away.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Rickles did pass away.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is that we're too short. I mean, don't get me wrong. This one, they could literally introduce a whole new cast at this point.
I don't know. I mean, I think you're still going to have your Woody and Buzz.
No. They need paychecks.
Them. Yeah.
So,
and you're going to have Jesse. And but I mean, like they even had to deal with the absence of Slinky Dog in Toy Story 3. Didn't they just say that Slinky got broke or Andy gave him up or something? Yeah. So it's like, it sucks, but at the same time, it's like I don't think that they're gonna be like, oh, we don't have Potato Head, we have to pack it up.
No, I know.
We still have John Lasseter, or not John Lasseter. Who did the dinosaur?
Oh,
it's not Lasseter. What is his name?
John Lasseter is the guy that runs Pixar.
Yeah, he's
right.
the Pixar dude.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
that's the name I think of. He's the guy from Cheers.
Cheers.
Right?
I was going to say it's the guy from Cheers.
I only know associations. I don't know names.
The postal man.
Maybe
from
I
Cheers.
should be a Doctor Who fan.
Norm?
Not
Norm,
Norm.
yeah.
Not Norm.
No. He was the other guy that was always at the bar.
gray-haired dude with a beard.
But anyway, he does. I think he's still around.
Yeah. I mean, so one of the things they showed us was they put a whole release timeline of the movies that are coming out over the next 3 years. And God, it's a strong
I have that image
lineup.
pulled up. Holy smokes.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too. What else pops at you, Landon, when you look at that?
Off the top of my head, I think it's cool that Wreck-It Ralph is finally getting its sequel. That has been something that's been rumored, but the fact that Disney's like, yeah, this is for sure happening. We're in the writing and shooting process. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
You made reference to Toy Story 4 coming in 2019. Obviously, if you're a Marvel fan, you're very well aware we got Thor Ragnarok dropping at the end of this year. Then we have Black Panther, then Infinity Wars Part 1 coming in the first half of 2018. I believe June, July, we're going to get Ant-Man and the Wasp next year. And then
which has been
early 2019, we got Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, yep.
Which I'm excited for. Brie Larson, I think, is going to be a great Carol Danvers. And then Infinity Wars 2 drops in the middle of 2019. And then Disney is just doubling down with this whole live-action version of their classics. Like it was announced that Tim Burton is going to be doing a live-action Dumbo.
Yep.
So
that's going to be insane.
It's going to be weird.
Yeah. Be ready. Johnny Depp is starring as Dumbo, and Dumbo's going to wear 19 hats and 5,000 scarves at the same time.
I think he'll be the mouse.
Any sense.
It's going to be hard for Dumbo to fly with all
He'll
those
be the
bracelets.
mouse.
I
You
know,
can fly,
right,
Dumbo.
yeah. And like,
We
did
got
I say that there's going to be a live-action Mulan movie?
yes,
Yeah.
and Lion King. Yep,
Well, they just cast Aladdin,
and they finally cast Aladdin. Yep.
which I thought was he looks like a smart cast. So I don't know
Will
as
Smith is the genie.
I mean, we'll
that
see.
laugh
He may
loud.
surprise me.
Welcome to our gribba.
No, I'm sure Will Smith will do a fine job, but it's like those are going to be huge
Okay,
shoes to fill.
you're right about that, but here's the thing. I feel like Will Smith was almost the only way to go because you had to go with someone with a big personality, someone that's someone that's immediately you see the name and you're like, boom, I know what they can bring to the table. He's gonna bring the song aspect.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I can't disagree with any of that. I totally get the casting. It's a rough ride for him. It's going to be a rough ride.
It is. But
I feel
he's
guess
made his money. He doesn't care.
I'm not like upset about it. Like I'm not going to I'm not going to get my signs and protest Aladdin and they replace the genie. I'm not that person. I don't actually in all actuality, I could care less.
Yeah.
You know, I'll watch it. I will be happy if they do a great job. I will be sad if they do a bad job.
I'm pretty excited for it. I'm feeling positive. Like I feel like the only other way they might have been able to go with this one would have been The Rock. Because he's in everything.
He's in everything.
And I could have seen The Rock being the genie.
But I don't think he's...
Are we sure he isn't in Aladdin?
He might be.
He might be.
He's going to be the big tiger head they walk in to go in the Cave of Wonders. So just the big rock.
You have come to me.
This is a little too on the nose, if you ask me.
Just let you know. It doesn't matter what your name is.
One last movie announced from D23, at least on this big giant PowerPoint slide that they threw up there. This one kind of caught my eyes. Mary Poppins.
Yep.
I almost said Mary Poppins Unleashed.
Unleashed.
Welcome to the Marvel-verse.
That's right.
So
Mary Poppins be poppin'.
She returns. Mary Poppins returns, starring Yondu. So everybody check that.
She's be Poppins.
Yep.
Well,
Mary
obviously,
Poppins Unleashed.
well, so we know her movie exists at least in the Marvel-verse. People are aware of her, so that could be that it's based on a legend that they all know, and this woman who can fly on an umbrella.
I got another one. Chimney on you.
Yes, spoiler alert. She's going to show up in the third post-credit reveal of Infinity Wars Part 1.
She's going to deal with some people with extreme prejudice. She's going to stab that umbrella and open it up in people.
A spoonful of sugar makes Thanos go down.
Right, take it. I don't want to hear your mouth. Oh, Samuel Jackson is Mary Poppins.
Is there anything he can't do?
No.
Oh,
If you could put The Rock in everything, you could put Samuel Jackson.
Sam Jackson should have been Aladdin, and The Rock should have been.
What, Aladdin just has one loose cigarette hanging out of his mouth the entire movie?
No,
Who you calling street rap, mother?
Sam Jackson should have been Jafar.
Oh, yeah, I love that. That's
Aladdin.
casting.
Your name's Aladdin.
That's actually perfect. I could see him pulling a really
That would
nice
be awesome.
Jafar. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yep, I love it.
A missed opportunity.
Can we just recast? Can we send our
Well, they
suggestions?
haven't even done
in?
it yet. They just got Aladdin. We could still get Jafar.
Let's send him a thanks
is
but
true.
no thanks email.
Thanks, but no thanks. Hey guys, I know you're doing a stellar job at Disney. I understand that you got it under control, but let me pull this in for you.
Yeah,
We
we got this.
He's already in one of your franchises. Why not ship him over?
There you go.
He's already in several of your franchises. He even talked this weekend about how he is one of the very few people who is 2 Disney superheroes.
And then
Ooh.
He's Nick Fury and he's Frozo.
And he's Mace
he is
Windu.
Frozo. He is Mace Windu.
He is Mace Windu.
He is
That doesn't
Disney.
really count.
Sam Jackson
Sam
is
Jackson
Disney.
is Disney,
As
which
Disney.
which further
Sam Jackson is Disney.
which further explains why I love Disney so much.
There you go. And even better, then we can connect Aladdin verse
Mm-hmm.
to Marvel verse and Star Wars verse.
Perfect. Bring it all together.
It's all together.
Yep.
Man, this
And the
is
genie was the
literally like-
beginning.
This is literally like somebody just tipped over their toy box and hey, guess what? This is Hollywood
Hey,
now.
I think Marvel would be down with it.
We just said the British actors do it all the time. It's who you know. I mean,
Yeah.
just put. Okay, who do we have that's just awful and mean, but in a nice way? Oh, we got Sam Jackson. He. Yeah, get him in here.
Now we need to find a way to cram Kevin Hart into one of these movies, and we'll be in really good
wow,
shape.
we could do that.
I thought you were going to say Kevin James. I'm like,
Oh,
gee.
Kevin Hart could be the mouse in Dumbo.
Oh my gosh. Kevin Hart is going to find out the things we say about him, and it is not going to be a good day for
I would
us.
take an ass whooping from Kevin Hart. That'd be
I'm not
hilarious.
going to lie. I would take it from Kevin Hart.
I really like how you guys say that like you would have the option if he showed up. Of course,
that's true.
he's going to hand out a
He's like, I'm here to. I understand. Hold on a
we
minute.
get it. Just a second.
Let me get my bleeding clothes on.
Yeah, we haven't come. Wait, you have bleeding clothes. How often do you bleed?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what I do, Landon.
You hear the things he says on this show. Kevin Hart's not the first guy we've pissed off.
I was going to say Kevin Hart could have been the Jasmine's dad. He was really
Sultan.
What the hell?
Oh, man.
Jasmine, you need to pick a suitor.
This is a fun game.
is a fun game.
I like fantasy casting.
Fantasy casting. We still haven't recast Mary Poppins. Still popping.
Still popping. Still
Well,
popping.
we don't need to recast Mary Poppins. It's Michael Rooker, you dumbasses.
Oh, that's true. That's a spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, he already announced it.
He did.
Officially
Yeah.
confirmed.
He officially confirmed Michael Rooker
yeah,
is
that was
Mary
a way
Poppins.
early announcement.
I'm still popping. I don't know if that was his voice, but I thought it was a pretty.
That was close.
That was as close as I could get.
I liked it. But he's dead. So
He's dead.
R.I.P. Well, not him.
No,
But-
that-
yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Special announcement. I announced that Joaquin Phoenix had died, and now Michael Rooker has
Yeah,
died.
you have killed a lot of Hollywood.
Yep. Sinbad.
Yeah,
It's Sinbad's fault.
Oh my God, Sinbad! Where can we get him? What can he do? Can he be Dumbo?
Well, we've already got
Charles Barkley?
Johnny Depp's Dumbo.
Yeah, Johnny Depp is Dumbo. Kevin Hart's the cricket.
Let's cast Sinbad
and
as
Jasmine's
Mulan.
dad.
Oh,
Wait,
Gender
Sinbad's
blind.
Mulan?
Yeah, gender blind casting and race blind.
yeah. No. He's the
Talent.
guy who helps Mulan.
See,
He would be funny, comic relief. You cannot make him a main star. Sinbad is
No.
not main.
No, you're right.
He's secondary.
You're right.
Yeah, as the movie.
He's gonna
that
make
none
a
of us
man
can
out of
remember,
you.
Shazam says.
That's right.
He's not Shazam.
Yes, he is.
No, I told you we're in an alternate timeline. He is not Shazam anymore.
It's changed.
No, but-
Everything's changed.
Berenstain.
This is why he can't be a leading actor because we're not in that universe.
We're not in that universe anymore. In another universe, he was in Lethal Weapon.
He used to be the headliner.
He used to be a headliner.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Now
well.
he's just a floor man.
R.I.P. Sinbad's career. How about that?
Ouch.
Okay. Ouch. All right. Let's. Okay. We're gonna
This
go.
is a
I'm
fun.
just gonna
This
tell
is
you,
a
we're
fun
gonna go
game we need to
long.
come back to.
This has.
This is a fun game we need to come
yeah,
back to.
This was a good time, but I could probably do a whole show on the parks announcements we got. Are you looking at the Wreck-It Ralph 2 thing?
The Wreck-It Ralph 2.
It looks
I
like
just-
a notification.
No,
It's-
I know. I saw that. It had a little
Yeah.
2 up to it, which is cool because
yeah.
it's an app thing.
And they're pulling them into the internet in this one.
I wonder if
so.
it's connected to the Emoji Movie.
Oh, God.
It's not. It's not. It's
Boo
not.
this man.
Yeah, no, definitely boo me. That was a horrible thing to say. I did watch the Wrinkle in Time.
Oh,
Trailer.
yeah, with Oprah?
Have you watched that?
No.
I hadn't read that book since like kindergarten or first grade or something, whenever it was read to me. That looks like a backcrap crazy movie, and it's got Chris Pine in it. I don't know why when we have sci-fi, it's like flip, 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 has to have Chris Pine, put him in.
Does anything in that movie occur during the World War II time frame? I feel like he needs to be part of that.
No, but there is a warp factor in there.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy. So is this where Disney confirms that they've bought Star Trek?
I'm not going to lie to you. If that happened, I would.
Matt would suddenly be the biggest Disney fan of all time.
Oh, my God. I would go to the party. If they buy it, I will straight show up that day with everything I can own or place on myself that says Disney Star Trek. I'm not going to lie. I mean, we are rudderless over in Star Trek, Bill. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited about Discovery. It's looking better. It just...
I'll tell you this, though. What would be the reaction for both Star Trek and Star Wars fans if suddenly they were under the same umbrella? Because if that
we'd
happened,
get the hug.
But if that happened,
no, it would be bad because then there would be a blending,
and Disney would start to blend it.
Yeah, and people wouldn't like that at all.
Yeah,
and I mean they're two different universes. I mean they are literally two different stories, and I wouldn't want that either.
I just don't think Star Trek could exist in the Star Wars verse and vice versa. Because
it's the same reason why you wouldn't want Marvel in your Star Wars.
Yeah,
you don't want that.
But Star Trek.
Let me play devil's avocado here.
Do
for
it.
A second.
Devil's avocado. I love it.
I love the guacamole.
Exactly.
Holy guacamole.
Disney straight up bought Marvel, and when that happened, I was one of those people saying, what is it going to be 6 months until Mickey Mouse is an Avenger or something stupid like that?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Disney is smart enough business-wise to be like, hey, this whole making money thing that Marvel's doing, we like making money too, so let's just stay out of the way and let them do their thing. And for the most part, Disney stayed out of Marvel's way. What's not to say they wouldn't do the same with Star Trek, because they're already so able to craft the Star Wars universe to their liking.
I agree with that, but okay,
it's too tempting. I think
that's my
Marvel
problem.
and Star Wars are very different. They're ran very different. But when you put Star Wars and Star Trek in the same umbrella, it is way too tempting to make those play together.
Yeah.
Way too tempting.
I feel like even though they have their pretty stark differences, Tony Stark differences.
I see what you did there.
I think it's a strong possibility that over time there would be a blending of the two, and it just doesn't need to happen. They should stay separate. So anyway, but it would still be cool.
It would still be cool
because you'd get your theme park stuff.
Well, I would love for, if nothing else, Universal to buy them. And I mean not just buy the movie and the TV and get us back on track.
That would be better.
Yeah, I would, and that puts a park umbrella over them too.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say, and if Universal steps up to the plate with Star Trek, you could have, I'm sure Jay's going to talk about it here in a little bit, you could have the Star Trek equivalent of Star Wars Land and Universal Islands of Adventure.
Yep.
So I would be, like I said, I'm not mad that they're doing all that stuff with Star Wars. I'm just like, I'm over here in this little island of loneliness.
I almost think, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to make a bold prediction.
Uh-oh.
I think at some
Jay's
point.
prediction.
Yep. I think at some point somebody's going to step up and pick up Star Trek.
I think they will.
And I think because there is such a demand for things like what people are going to see what we're getting with Star Wars. By the way, it's not Star Wars Land anymore. It's Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, I know.
That's a better name. That's a way better name. I saw that. I was like, that's a better name.
Yeah. So
Galaxy's Edge sounds like some 1990s first-person shooter put out by EA.
Here's the alternative. Isn't that called the Outer Rim? And anybody I know is not going to say, let's go get a job at the Outer Rim, because then you have a job. You have a rim job.
Well, I think people are going to see it, and Star Trek fans are going to be like, why can't I have this?
Oh, absolutely.
And I just think that eventually, and it may be Universal that's like, because we know that they've got Nintendo Land coming on the heels of
see what they can
Star
do with
Wars
that.
Land. And it sounds pretty cool. It's going to be a really big expansion for Universal, bigger than what I thought. I thought they would get an attraction or two. It's going to be a whole land. So,
well, they've got to compete. They have to compete. I mean, this is
really
Florida Wars.
It is, and it's all. And hey, who's the winner in this war?
The consumer.
The consumer.
That's right.
Well, the consumer, not necessarily our bank accounts. But
no, you're right about that.
We're good.
This is so now we can segue nicely into what we saw for the theme parks, and I'm going to hit it pretty quick because we're running along, but I'll get into it more later.
Well, I had one thing about the theme parks. Did you see the whole thing about the Max Pass and versus the Fast Pass now? Mm-mm. You have to have a Max Pass to be able to go to get a fast pass to Star Wars Land or the Outer Edges, which people are really heard about that because they're like, I just want to buy a fast pass. I don't want to buy a max pass.
Yeah.
I guess there's a huge price difference.
Yeah, you don't.
Well,
the thing is, you don't have to buy fast passes. They're free.
Well,
but the max pass you have to pay for, right?
Right, and they said without a max pass, it is predicted to be a 5+ hour wait on every ride at Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
Oh no,
based
I don't
on
either.
what we saw in Avatar
and like you
Land.
said, you were going to wait till like almost Christmas to go to make sure.
I think that's smart too, because even with the max pass, it's like I'm still willing to bet, even if you're in quote unquote your time, you're still going to be waiting like what 30, 60, 90 minutes a ride.
Oh yeah, even with the max pass, yeah.
And then if they can make it work with the, I guess, Volcano Bay on the other side of things, and they'll see that technology, if they can ever get that to work right, then maybe Disney will go, that sounds cool.
Oh, Disney's going to do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're going to have to.
Once it's optimized, Disney will do it.
Yeah, it's not a choice, I would imagine.
Yeah. Because they keep up with the Joneses.
And the thing is, it's not even like, oh, Universal's doing something cool, let's do it. It's just, it makes good business sense to do it, because if you've got people standing in a 5-hour line, they're not buying shirts, they're not buying merchandise at all, they're not buying food, drinks, whatever, and you want them in that cantina buying blue milk.
Angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the blue milk you can drink.
Yeah. So
blew me up.
So, all right, let me talk a little bit about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Again, we are calling it Galaxy's Edge, and it's supposed to be a settlement right on the edge of known universe in Star Wars, right? So it's kind of, it's not something that's featured in the movies, but it's a place where all of our movie people can interact. So one of the things that we learned about was they talked a little bit more about the two rides. The Millennium Falcon ride is going to bring guests in so you actually take control of the Millennium Falcon as a team. Here's the cool thing about this ride. If you do well, you get galactic credits that help your reputation in the land.
The whole rep thing with the bracelets. Right.
If you do poorly, you will be hunted by a bounty hunter.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So just hearing that, how many people are going to try and get the credit, or how many people are going to purposely tank so they're hunted by a bounty hunter?
Well, then you better bring a crew when you go to that ride, because if you're one person short and that person's like, I want a bounty hunter, and the rest of you want that galactic credit, then you're going to have to kill that man in the simulator.
Literally kill him.
Physically end him.
But so it just... what they're doing is they're trying to take what Universal did with the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, what they've done with Pandora, and they're going to not only blend those things, but take the next step. Okay, we have the fully immersive environment that you see around you. We've got the cool rides. Now you can interact with it, and you can actually play out your own adventure. They talked more. They officially announced the Star Wars Hotel. Yeah.
What's that going to be like? Because their hotels, like, I think you were telling me about one. It was at the magic animation one or something.
The Art
of
Animation.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's got all kinds of things on the walls
Yeah.
and an experience with inside.
It's very cool. That is called a value resort. This, on the other hand, will not be.
Not even a little.
Early reports that I saw are saying that minimum 2-night stay, because if you stay there, they give you a dossier, like an adventure.
Cool.
Things that you're supposed to do. You're supposed to role play. You don't have to, but you can role play an adventure while you're there, and it goes over 2 days. And 2-night stay, minimum 2-night, $650 a night, $200 per person extra in your room. So a family of 4 for 2 nights, $2,500.
Okay. Well, I will say that for 2 nights.
Yes. $1,250 a night.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, it is.
That's steep.
That's a week's vacation for my family.
Oh, God, yeah.
More than a week, actually, but depending on what we do.
Yeah, you could go on a real nice cruise for
you
$2,500.
can go. Oh, yeah, you can go.
Carnival's got you hooked up.
Yeah, you can be in the stateroom for that. I mean, well, close anyway.
You couldn't do a Disney cruise, but you could do a
heck
Carnival
no.
cruise for that. Yeah.
Which, that makes me wonder if they're going to change the Disney cruise for all this stuff, too.
I don't know.
There's got to be a Star Wars cruise.
Over. There already is, but
I mean,
it's like,
more of it.
Yeah. So anyway, that got officially announced. We knew it was coming based on the surveys we had seen. So we talked about this a few weeks ago. They did talk a little bit more about the other ride, which is a shooter kind of a ride where you're either part of the First Order or you're part of the Resistance. It's going to take place inside of a Star Destroyer. And they didn't give a lot of details about it, just that it's like a competitive thing. You've got a shooter.
Laser tag thing.
kind of thing. So
See, that works
Wait,
perfect
so
in a Star
Is it going to be
Destroyer.
like laser tag, or is it going to be like the Men in Black ride or the Buzz Lightyear ride, where you're on a track and it's just light gun
I
stuff?
think it's going to be a little bit of both. So I imagine you're going to be on an Omni Mover kind of thing, but it's going to be competitive in that two people, like they're going to launch First Order and Resistance at the same time. I don't think you'll shoot at each other, but it's going to be like who can outscore the other. And of course we know Stormtroopers can't shoot. So
That is true.
I like to do a lot of breakout rooms, and I think there is an opportunity for that kind of ride also. Like, they put you in the gulag there on one of those Star Destroyers. I don't know what they are, the prisons or
I
whatever.
just call it a brig. They use a lot of nautical terms.
They do. So they put you in the brig, and you got to make your way out of that, and then you got to make your way to your escape pod or whatever. I think that would be a cool thing.
That would be cool.
That would
do
be cool.
different
The only
clues.
problem is with those escape rooms. What is that, like an hour minminimum?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That
But you
wouldn't
can
be
do
very
up.
conducive for.
But you
for
can
an
do up to
amusement
10
park.
people at one time.
Yeah,
too.
they would. It'd have to be like a whole big building full of rooms, so that they're launching them all
Yeah.
at the same time.
and they could be all different things too.
Yeah, and that'd be cool if they different experiences in each one.
Like you're trapped on the or you're in the brig in one, or you're on the deck of the Star Destroyer, or you're in a part of the Millennium Falcon, like you're hiding from someone and you got to figure out how to get around. I don't know. There's a million things you could do, but I think that'd be a cool thing.
Yeah.
Good offshoot.
So they did too talk about how so if you go visit Pandora right now, the people you interact with they're not just Disney cast members. They live on Pandora, and if you talk to them, they'll be like, oh yeah, I've been on Pandora now for a couple of years, and I miss my family, but we've got, we get transmissions from them, we send stuff on, and they'll talk to you. They are fully role playing. That's what they do in Pandora.
I like it.
Well, that's
cool.
That's how it's going to be in Star Wars Land, except you're going to have stormtroopers walking around, you're going to have Jedi, and they will walk up to you and say, like, are you someone who's sympathetic to the Resistance? Different things like that. They're going to, all this kind. Jawas walking around to trade with. All
dirty
kinds of
Jawas.
stuff. Yep, dirty Jawas. Don't be racist. Well, at least you didn't say. At least you didn't say sand people.
Sand people.
Yeah, now who's racist?
I don't
Yeah.
know. Tuscan, or what do they call them? Tatooine
would
natives.
be-
Native Tatooiners.
So does the Pandora thing make more sense to you now? That is kind of, if you think of it as a test run for an environment?
No, because I don't think you invest $1 billion on a test run.
It's just a bad deal, man. They made a
Well,
deal
maybe
and they had to
Disney
go
does.
through with it.
But
You'll see the money when they release those six of those movies here soon. Though, if you go to our thing, our Twitter, and you
There
look
you
in the
go.
likes, MIT has figured out how to make TVs 3D without glasses.
Really?
They're working on that technology. They say they are super close to having it where it is a very consumer based thing. So that, in connection with the new avatars, will probably be a big thing.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, I could see that. Man, if James Cameron was smart, he would spend some money to try to get real 3D into the home theater, and because we know he put all that money into getting 3D in theaters up to snuff. Now if you really want to do it in home theaters.
Yeah. So another big parks announcement we got, if we're going to step out of the Star Wars land for just a second, was that we officially got confirmation. This was something I had talked about because of some rumors previously as well, but
Right.
we officially got confirmation that the Tron Light Cycle coaster is coming to the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
I hope it's good. I hope it's cool.
Well, so I've seen the videos of the one. I think it's in Shanghai Disney.
Yeah.
And my dog's freaking out. She loves it. And
She's like, I am going to.
the video looks so cool. And for me, I'm not like the biggest Tron fan in the world or anything, but
No, I think
but I think
one
that
like Tron, but I feel like that last one. Ooh.
I just like the lights of it. I like
yeah.
the design of it. The ride system looks really neat. Mm-hmm. So it's something I want to experience. I don't know that I'm ever going to get to go to Shanghai. So yeah, bring it to me.
No, it's a cool concept. I think it's a cool movie. I think everybody's wanted a light cycle from the very beginning, so it'll be cool to
Yeah.
have that.
So they are replacing. It sounds like they're going to replace the Tomorrowland Speedway in Magic Kingdom, which is pretty controversial because that was a day one attraction, and it's also one of those things that Disney's always wanted to focus on having rides that the whole family could do. Mm-hmm. Tomorrowland Speedway, kids get to drive cars.
Right.
And they're going to take this out and put it in the Tron coaster. So that's probably going to stir up some controversy, but I'm not a kid, so I'm cool with the coaster.
Right. Right. I mean,
seriously.
and I get it. I mean, it's understandable. It's Tomorrowland, so you would expect that's where they're going to put Tron stuff. So I get that.
And I like the idea of fantasy future too, because because that to me is a lot more timeless than trying to be
Exactly. You can stay away from anything. It's like, oh, hey, we've got, and I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that would be in Tomorrowland that would just be anything atomic energy is garbage now. I mean, anything. So,
well, I mean, even leading up now to the time in Tomorrowland and stuff like that, Disney Imagineers have always talked about the biggest problem with Tomorrowland is, oh, sweet, this looks futuristic. Yeah, just give it like 5 years, and it's going to look extremely dated and hacked.
We are so far beyond Moore's Law right now. It's insane. You couldn't put anything futuristic out that's going to last 2 years, I don't think, at all.
Yeah, so that has always been the challenge. That's why I think you got to double down on the fantasy future thing and go that way.
That sounds a perfect pie slice for Star Trek.
Yeah, there you go. Fantasy future. I agree with that. Because it'll be a while till we have generational ships.
Absolutely, So,
and then this was coming for a while. We kind of knew this was coming. We didn't know how much we would hear about it at the D23 Expo, but Epcot is getting some additions and some refreshing. And
are you okay with this, old man?
No.
He gets so mad at stuff that happens at Epcot.
Because they are getting so far away from what the original idea of Epcot was, and they're continuing to do it, because the big announcement was Guardians of the Galaxy is coming to Epcot, and it's replacing Ellen's Energy Adventure. While I get replacing Ellen's Energy Adventure because that was dated, and it was talking about energy technologies and things that it probably needed to be refurbed. Epcot, especially the Future World piece of Epcot, was supposed to be about learning, education, and technology. They even have the Innoventions East and West, which was all about like showcasing stuff, bringing new stuff in all the time to let you see and feel and touch it. And now we're just taking another step away from that. One of the things they did to even change World Showcase last year or 2 years ago was when they introduced Frozen Ever After into Norway, which used to be the Maelstrom ride, which was a lot more about Norway, and now it's more about, but these characters, they were kind of based in Norway.
They're Dutch, I think, so what the theory is.
They're somewhere, in the Norse area. Nordic, yeah. So let's put them in Norway because kids want to and families want to see that, and it's less about, this is what Norway's like, and it's like, come see Frozen. That's going to happen a little bit in France because they're putting a Ratatouille attraction in there.
Which is an insult.
And
I'm sure they want to be known as rat cuisine capital.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is that they're pulling this ride from Disneyland Paris. So in Paris, they have a Ratatouille ride.
Yeah.
So I guess it tests well with French people, or else they wouldn't be putting it there.
Sure.
And actually, I guess if you think about it from that aspect, France has a Ratatouille ride, so putting one in France in the World Showcase makes it more authentic, right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They want to be known for their food and the cuisine and stuff like that, but I mean, a rat making it, I guess they're okay with it.
Sounds like it.
But at the same time, it's a Disney rat making it, and Disney has a very...
Because they are a Disney rat company.
Yeah, it's the House of the Mouse.
Yeah.
Or rat.
So,
And in all honesty, I'm kind of surprised it took Disney this long to get any sort of Ratatouille presence in their parks, American side at least.
True.
and I will say
it's a popular movie.
It's
it
one
really
of
is.
it's one of their newer technologies. It's one of those trackless rides, and it's a lot of it's supposed to be like a 4D ride. You're supposed to wear goggles. There's 3D stuff going on mixed with practical effects, similar to what I told you about the Justice League ride that I rode.
Yeah.
So I don't have any problem with the ride. I guess it's just that my crotchety old man view of what World Showcase is supposed to be is getting trampled on by this. And I really think that in the near, let's say in the next 10 years, the Future World piece of Epcot will not be Future World anymore. It's going to be something totally different.
So this is a question I want to ask you, and you don't have to answer it right here. You can think about it for a while. How would you fix that based on technology, growth, and where we at?
Where we at
right now?
Well,
because our phones are new, we'll say. They're not new 6 months from now.
Right.
So any technology you bring in there is is old
Yeah.
the minute you bring it in.
Well, that's why the Innovations pavilions are genius, because they can constantly rotate that stuff.
Right.
So that's where they bring in all the cutting edge stuff. And that's supposed to be part of the World's Fair aspect of what Epcot is supposed to be. But then you've got like the things like they shut down the what did they call it? It was the piece of Epcot that had, it was the pavilion that had like Body Wars and all of the educational health stuff. And right now I'm totally blank on
Oh, This Is You or something?
Well, they
or?
had like This Is You, and it had some Cranium Command, I think, was in there. They shut that whole pavilion now, and it's just unused space. And then, of course, they've got they had the land. They still have the land pavilion. That's where they put in Soarin'. But they have the Living with the Land ride where you go and see the hydroponic stuff they're growing.
I'll bet.
And it's pretty cool. And Imagination Pavilion, I hear, is probably going to change, but it's still going to be there. But I don't know, like you start.
I mean, you could fix it, but I mean, what would it take? What's the logistics of that? What's the money that's going to take? And security. Security is a big thing in this. You know. So
it would be a significant investment to refresh everything, but considering it's like they're changing what Epcot is going to be, it's going to be a significant investment either way.
So they're putting a Guardians of the Galaxy thing right in the middle of this guy.
Yeah.
Would you be okay if Guardians of the Galaxy were teaching kids about stuff?
Yeah. If they're going to do it that way, fine.
That would be cool.
If it's going to be, if they take Guardians and make it like some sort of an educational experience where they teach them about technologies and things like that, sure. I'd be down with that.
That'd be okay. It's something relatable to kids, even though kids, I don't think, can watch Guardians. Well, I guess Groot is a big kid puller, you know, and he could be the hydroponic guy, and then, you know, I mean, I could think of a whole bunch of ways it could work.
Yeah. So it's possible, and if they go that route, I'll be a little more accepting, unless it's just some blatant, just superficial, here's the Guardians, here's the characters you like, and then let's do a dark ride kind of thing.
Yeah, well, and then they've already done that. They've already replaced the tower in Disneyland.
They did.
Yeah.
I will say that's not nearly the sacred cow.
No, but
the Tower
it
of Terror
is.
in Orlando
We have
is.
to put, and you thought that was just going to be that, and that's where that's going to be. But it seems like now it's like, well, we have Guardians here.
Yeah.
We have to find a
and
place
it's
for
working.
Guardians.
People are loving it.
Oh, of course they are. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got Rocket.
Yeah. So, I guess you're right. I mean, it's something where they want to
can make it
capitalize on
work.
the properties they have. And where, I guess, if you're thinking about it, where would they have put Guardians? Maybe they could have added something to Tomorrowland, but Epcot needs the love and attention. So they're like, well, we've got something we want to bring in the parks. We have an opportunity here, so let's do it. I guess it all makes sense, but at the same time, I just don't. It's not Epcot Center anymore. They don't even call it that anymore.
Yeah, it's just Epcot.
It's just Epcot, and it's just changing.
Well, no, I'm with you. I think education is important, and I like that being in there because we're having fun. Yeah. Here's some stuff that's fun, and you get to learn a little bit. Everybody likes that. So
Wonders of Life, by the way. That's the
there you
pavilion.
go. There you go.
That's the pavilion that they don't use anymore.
So I mean, and I mean, think about the body stuff that's old now that could be in there. I'm sure that stuff's outdated as all get out. Which that's another thing that I'm sure health and what we learn about the body is outdated every day. But I'm with you. They should definitely kept an education factor in there, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So.
Landon, how are you feeling about this? You haven't weighed in much on the changing Epcot. Does it affect you as much as it affects me?
I mean, I am a fan of everything Disney and what got Disney to this point, but I don't know if I'm taking such a hard line against it as it seems like you are. I mean, some stuff like the classic stuff I don't want to be touched, but like the whole Ellen thing and the whole learning about energy, like you said, that stuff was outdated and it's been outdated. So I don't mind them changing it and making it something new. And if they happen to be using the license of a property that I like, I'm cool with that too.
Yeah.
And you know what? I know y'all are saying, you should want education and stuff like that. When I go to an amusement park, education is the very last thing on my list of priorities. So I mean, that's all well and good. Give me another roller coaster and give me another pavilion where I can go drink beer.
No, I get it, and that's the adult side of it. You know, it's a hard line because it's like, do you leave anything in here that's even remotely sustainable for learning? Because I mean, it is Disney. They've been a teaching tool for people. I mean, they're up there with Sesame Street with learning things and numbers, and they're in that whole game of children education. So, where do you put that?
I guess the question, too, is how much does it bother you the further and further we get from what Walt's vision for that park was?
Well, see, that unfortunately, Walt isn't weighing in on that anymore, and now that this is a very publicly traded company, Walt's heirs, they get to weigh in on it, but they don't have the say and swing that they did. And in all honesty, it's like it might be nice in Magical Christmas Land where Disney could be just how Walt imagined it, and it still make millions of dollars. That'd be great, but at the same time, it's like that might be two different things, unfortunately.
Yeah.
True.
In this day and age.
I get it. I still get to complain about it. It's not like
I know you do.
It's
That's why we have the podcast.
Yeah, it's not like I'm not going to consume it. I will.
Exactly.
But I'll be one of those guys walking around Epcot going, "Yeah, this place ain't what it used to be. Now let's go ride Guardians."
Exactly. And we have to walk there uphill both ways.
I want a high five, Star-Lord. Let's go.
So anyway, all right. Well, that's all I'm going to talk about today because this was almost one of our E3 level length recordings, and
True.
So we're going to have to cut it off at some point. But a lot of cool stuff. Oh, one quick other thing that now this one I was excited because this one I really was excited about, and I think it's pretty cool. They're going to put in a restaurant in Epcot where you're eating like on a space station.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's supposed.
Is
to
it going to be in
like
the air or is it going to be on the ground?
It's on the ground, but the whole environment is like you're in a space station.
Cool.
Like, so you look out the windows and it's space, and there's like a person in a EVA suit.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
So is that going to be similar to because I know I read on the Star Wars hotel that like once you go inside the hotel, it's like all space. Like you look out the window and you're looking out into the stars. So is it going to be something similar like that?
Yeah, it will be.
I wonder if that'll give people vertigo.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like the.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how that. I don't know if there's any like visual phobias that happen from looking out into nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. You'll have a star field to look at.
True. I'm just saying. I don't know what that makes people feel like.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they. And I don't know what they'll do with it, but it'd be cool if like you'll see shooting stars or maybe a ship passing by.
Ships pass by different
That'd
things.
Be neat.
Every day at 2:30, this cargo ship goes by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honking its horn.
Garbage.
So
hole.
anyway, that's the last thing. Now I really am done. But there's more to read. There's more to consume because there was so much news that came out of D23. So if you guys want to check that out, we've probably liked it or retweeted it. Check out our Twitter account at nerd_news_cafe. You can go to our Facebook fan page and interact with us, and that's just Nerd News Cafe. Our website's nerdnewscafe.com, and you can email us at nerdnewscafe@gmail.com. And soon, you will be able to teleport something to us if you would like.
That's true.
We do have the technology.
So,
or rather, certain countries have the technology.
They'll
Our
share.
country, we're still worried about putting up a brick wall and making Mexico pay for it. So
maybe China can teleport a wall over here for us.
No, did you not hear? It has
Made
to
in
be
China.
Do you not hear the new scope on this? This is probably going to get edited.
it has to be see-through now?
It has to be see-through because
God.
when drugs are being thrown over the gate, they don't want it to hit anybody. They want the drug dealers to be able to...
bags of drugs, they're going to be coming over the wall at all
We
times.
don't need our citizens accosted by these bags of drugs. We need drug dealers to have clear scope.
It's going to be sad.
I hate getting a concussion from a bag of heroin.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If I were to be pelted with a bag of cocaine after I woke up from that euphoria of all that cocaine in my system, I would be mad.
Or the worst part is you get the concussion from the bag of cocaine. You don't remember if you did the cocaine or not. So
True. Is this my bag?
How did I get here? Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to do it for today. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Tune in on Thursday when we stir it up. There's going to be some new twists and some exciting things to hear about. So until then, thanks for listening.
In transmission.